Bhairava Kalike, Namostute. Om Namo Bhairavaya Namo Nama. Om Namo Bhairavaya Swaha. Jai Madhya. So good morning folks. We're back on yet another video. So I wanted to address something regarding the Guru Dhakshina that I had posted about, and why in spite of taking a stand that there should not be any money that flows, I have been made to realize that it will not work that way. So and also I had been in a discussion with a few people who advised me that why do you only take, who wanted to know why I would only take money for feeding the cows and not for anything else to do with me. So first of all, any upadesha that gives you a benefit, there is a karma being exchanged. Okay, so ideally within Prakriti you go in a certain pace towards a certain goal, you keep on walking in that direction. You are unconnected to anything else. You make a mistake, you atone for it, you burn for it. If the mistake leads to another mistake, as you try to correct it, you go higher and higher and fall into the higher traps of Prakriti itself. That is a design of Prakriti. Now some of us, by the grace of the deities itself, especially the deities who are from the Smashana, which means who majorly operate at that realm where the Mrityu Loka, the physical body and the spiritual body, come to that space of common exchange of energy. That is the Smashana Devatas. The Smashana Devatas only have the ability to burn your karma. So when it comes to the sadhana of Smashana Devata, due to some previous Janma karma, due to the grace of your ancestors or anything to do with something that you have done in your past birth or maybe in this birth itself, you get pushed into the path of deities like Bhairava, Shiva, any Shiva Tattva, or then the Divine Mother Ma Kali, who is above the Mrityu-loka, who is across the cosmos. When you come into the path of these deities, your karma becomes a sort of an open book. You can now manipulate, burn it at your pace, break it down, accelerate, decelerate, slow down, realize that the desires within you are already done. You don't have to come back for it. There is another realm where you attained it. Attain oneness between you and that realm, so that you do not desire and come back to simply to burn that desire away. So this sort of state of mind that is only given by the Smashana Devatas, who operate between these two realms, the spiritual and the physical. So they reside in Smashan because that is where the last attachment with the human body breaks down. So that is why the Smashana Devatas have the ability to burn down your karma. Now I was of the very strong belief that money by itself, which is where the entire Asuric mindset within the human world, the Mrityu Loka, the Asuric forces have completely converged onto this entity that is called money, and I should never take it from anybody, even while giving the Upadeshas. But over the course of the last 6 months, I continuously began to realize that every time, okay, be it the shirt that I wear today, be it this cloth, the mala I wear, be the vigraham that you all see and pray to every day, these are all procured by me by the ability of my own financial strength, which is given by the grace of Mahadhya. Okay, and I have been doing well. However, the cow and the bull that I own, they have no specific financial profit or any kind of a benefit to my physical being. I'm talking about if I have a TV, I get physical benefit out of it. If I have a car, it gives me physical benefit. If I procure a costly mobile, it gives me a physical benefit. However, if I take my bull and my cow, I have been drawn to realize this multiple times that they do not physically give me anything, and they're purely spiritual. My cow and my bull, the aura of these two, let's call them animals itself for the ease of communication, the aura is such that they're purely spiritual. Do I sell their milk? I don't. Do I sell any breeding semen of the bull? No. There is absolutely nothing that is financial in it. I began to realize that the more I fed them, the more I was burning my karma. The more I took care of them, it was absolutely selfless. Other than just seeing them, and whenever I see and I'm with them, I get this explosion of spiritual Shakti. There is nothing more grounding than the cow. There is something called cow hugging, which is so powerful. Let me tell you, if you are even the most depressed human being, if you were to come near my cow, I'm talking about Kamakshi, my female calf. She's pregnant right now. Okay, she's carrying. If you were to even go near her and just touch her, she will look at you from the side eye, and I can't even tell you how calming it is. Many hours of meditation spent in some expensive facility would not even come close to that. There is something purely magical about the presence of her. Mere presence of her near me, and the ability for her to just completely shut me down and ground me. So yes, there is a physical benefit, but I cannot call it a physical benefit. I would still call it a spiritual benefit. Okay, so I began to realize that the more and more cow dung I cleaned, the more and more I put my effort into breaking my own back to move their cow feed bags, just 50 kgs and all that, the more and more I felt satisfied and grounded. And the more I realized that this 800 kg bull, that is Karupan, my bull, the more and more he became closer and closer to me. He began to treat me like his own son. Sometimes he fought with me, sometimes he would play with me. I began to realize that these two animals that we call are probably the most powerful yantras placed on planet itself. It is the cow, is the divine cow is called, the entire Devaloka resides in her, and the bull, the Vahana of Mahadeva. What is the reason for it? I began to realize that they're purely karmic. There is nothing financial that I gain out of these two animals. So that is when I realized anything and everything I do to them is directly linked to my sadhana. Which is also why Sri Krishna himself came back and he spent most of his time not doing what Sri Rama could not do. He lived the life of a middle class, very, very probably even lower middle class life, where he spent most of his time wandering with his cows in the forests. I can realize that what is the kind of aura that he would have received from those cows, and the auric exchange between these two, and how he is simply called Gopala. It is the entire secret of burning your karma, post your mantra japa, post the homa. As long as you are physically present in this planet, you need to do Gau Seva. This is extremely vital. Now, financially, somebody asked me, why do you, not just your cow feed, you should also take Dhakshina to take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your living and all this. So I was not okay with that. I'll tell you why. Right now, she has granted me education that can provide me income. She has granted me a birth into a bloodline which is sufficiently enough for me to live my life. She has granted me an annual income which is pretty higher than what people my age, my own colleagues, not colleagues, my classmates and all, are at. So I'm doing well. So till I am in that path of samsara where I still maintain a job, I still go karmically into the world to earn money and all, I should not take or connect the Guru Dhakshina part with my physical living. A day will come when I decide and completely get out of this bindings of the samsara, and I will go and sit in some ashrama. Then that day probably I would still ask and beg for my own food. That might happen. The day that happens, then yes, then I will ask for something to take care of myself as till I am around and able to talk about her. But as of now, I don't need it. But every time when it is time for me to place an order for cow feed, some expense would immediately hit to such an extent that I would have to put money into the other part, and I would not be able to procure the cow feed for a couple of more days. Every time I try to use my own money to buy the cow feed, some kind of a expense would pull me away. It doesn't happen anywhere else because she keeps me well. So that is when I started sitting and going deeper and deeper and deeper into this, and realizing that probably for all the mantras and the upadeshans and the sheer amount of content that I put, which probably might be helping a few hundred people, the cycle completes only if they feed the cows. Only if they feed my cow, who I consider as a living, breathing entity, that is the deity itself. I consider that Kamakshi is none other than Kamakshi Amman. I consider Karupan as a living, breathing Vigraha. I think anybody who takes mantra or Upadesha from me should at least give them a banana. After every 48-day cycle, every mandala feed them a banana. Even if you cannot afford anything, absolutely nothing, at least a banana, feed them. That is something I realized, because they are not kept for number one. Today I see people keeping cow and bull, doing gau seva and everything, but it's purely business. They use them for business. There should be no business interest other than your survival. That is why the Kangayam cow will give you only sufficient milk for you to feed your family, to take care of the deities, do the abhisheka for your deities, and maybe a glass or two of milk for your neighbor. The Kangayam cow only gives you 2 to 3 liters of milk. So there is nothing commercial about that breed of cow at all. It is purely spiritual, this breed of cow. Number 2, I would like to talk to you about, I've never spoken about this. I've written about, I think I've not even written about this. How I got Karupan. So I don't know if I've spoken about this, but let me tell you the small story of how Karupan came to my life. Karupan, the bull, who I call the living, breathing Shiva. I call him living, breathing Shiva Lingam. On him, every day, if I do not see from his horn the lingam, that is the hump on his back, the day is not complete for me. The moment I leave the house and the moment I enter the house, he is the first and the last thing that I will see. And he'll stand there looking at me. So, getting into his story, so there was this time when I was going through a pretty difficult time in my career, in terms of a lot of stress and pressure and all that. And I was driving back home one day after a great in my industry, the quarter had ended and the year had ended, and I was just driving down a rather empty highway. So in front of me there was this car with weird flashy lights. So I was just blankly just looking at that car. The car was at least 10 to 15 meters in front of me. I was just blindly following the car. The highway was majorly empty. The car was full of modified lights and it was fully flashy, like it's a Toyota Innova and very flashy. All of a sudden it stopped, sort of hit a sudden brake and accelerated and moved to the left. So I was a little surprised, and when it moved off, there stood the most brilliant bull I've ever seen in my life. It was from the Kankaraj breed, okay, and he was standing in the middle of the highway, standing directly in front of my windshield. And I just saw that and just burst out laughing. A very weird reaction for somebody who's traveling at 60-70, after braking 60-70 kilometers an hour, had just almost had an accident. I'm looking at him and he's slowly turning and he's continuously looking at me as I've taken the left and slowly passing him, and he's looking at me. And I was like, wow, that just blew my mind. Seeing that bull and the way he looked at me, and I tried to look at him back into the mirror, but I couldn't place him right, and by then we had passed, and that bull just sat in my head. The next day, I have been taking this road for so many years, all right, but I never noticed that the next day I was still thinking on this and started researching on bulls and the what is the hump and all that. I was returning, I was going back to the office the next day. I was listening to interviews of great breeders who have preserved these breeds of cattle, Indian cattle, okay, who are absolutely non-commercial, because you cannot sell a Kangayam bull's milk. How much will you sell when it only gives 2 to 3 liters? Unless you have many cows, then of course it becomes commercial. But if one house has one cow, one Kangayam cow, she will only have sufficient milk to feed her baby, the cow. You can do it offering to your deities, and maybe one glass for the neighbor. That's it. That is all they can give. So I was listening to all this and going, and then I noticed that for these many years, I had never noticed that there is this huge banner of a hotel, and the name of that hotel is the Black Bull. Again, and this happened exactly so I'm returning from office on a road, the same road I take to go to my office, which is the opposite of the road. The exact place where the bull stood, there is also a hotel with the board, the Black Bull. It's like, so many days I have not noticed this, and it happened in the same place where I saw that bull. my mind was racing and I was continuously thinking of this, going deeper and deeper into the Kangem breed, more and more realization. Then I realized that people down south in Tamil Nadu are building temples for some legendary Kangem black bull. The color is called Kari, so it will not have a drop of white or brown, it will be purely black. The Kari color within the Kangem breed is pure black cow, bull. And it is considered as an Amsha of Shiva, and they pray to this bull, and they also have temples for some very famous bull called Otta Komban. So in a fight with another bull, this bull had lost his horn. This bull had a temple dedicated to him. So I was just so fascinated, but I didn't know how to go about this. At this time I was building my house with sufficient space and all that. I was building my house. Something sort of hit me and decided I should buy a bull. Absolutely, I'm buying a bull. At that time I was at least 4 to 5 hours a day into Bhairava Sadhana. It was the peak of my Bhairava Sadhana, but this thought started eating me alive. As time passed, there were some organizations to whom I used to donate some money for upkeep of cattle every month. I tried to contact them and I told them that I want this specific breed of bull. I want a calf, young bull from this specific bloodline. They were also unlike dogs where proper certifications and bloodlines are maintained, in bulls it's quite haphazard. And I told him this over the phone, and I was just driving down. I get a call from somebody who was a big fan of my dogs. My dog is very famous. If you're very interested in dogs, you will know me and by the name. If you're not that interested and keen, you might not know. But people who have been following me for my dogs, I got a call from this guy, to whom I had very casually inquired on whether he also has any inputs. He called me. I had cut the previous call, just cut the call, and I was driving down. In the previous call I had mentioned that from that Ottakomban bloodline, single horned black bull, I want a male calf. So I just cut the call and I'm traveling. This guy calls me and says that there is one calf, a young bull available from a very famous bloodline called Ottakomban. Would you be interested? It happened in less than 30 seconds. I had asked somewhere else and the call came from somewhere else. So Karpan the bull, I named him Karpan. So he was around 350 kilometers away from my house. I made an appointment immediately the next day morning, break of dawn. I did my sadhana for the day in the morning and I left. 350 kilometers away, I went there in a car to a small family's house. Okay, so the father is a very by bloodlines they have been keeping these bulls. They had one single bull from this bloodline that they had kept for their maintenance, for servicing the female cows in that area and all that. Were done with that. He was just 1.5 years old, young bull. And he was very calm and especially since the people who came to guide me, they know me for my dogs and all that, they were very particular that this guy is so well known and all, we should get him a good bull. So they were also very scared that I am going to buy a 1.5-year-old bull. They said that you have to be careful. If you buy a calf, you never know how the calf's mindset would change as it grows. But if you buy a teenage bull, so 1.5 is called baby to teenage, it's like a 13-year-old boy, that kind of an age. If you procure that kind of a bull, at least you will know what the character is. But when the bull goes from the baby to the teen, character might change. So I met this guy, Karupan. Even the family was surprised that I, who knew nothing about bulls, had come there alone. 350 kilometers without a single person, and they actually warned me. See, you're going around and coming to somebody like me. We have never met in person, yet you did not bring anybody to guide you. How did you come so confidently? Because this is a field in which people cheat left and right. Especially you're asking such a rare bloodline. On top of that, you're asking such a rare color, which is fully black. What people do apparently is that white spots and all will be on the bull. They'll just paint it to just cheat people. I didn't know all that. I just blindly. I'm always been like that. Always been like that. I never depend on human beings. I never research. Me, her, done. Get out and get it done. That is how I've always been. So I didn't explain all that. He said that, how did you come alone to buy a bull while knowing nothing? So I was like, you think I'm alone? There is a lot of people in this car itself, a lot of entities in this car itself that are continuously guiding me. You think I'm alone. I'm not alone. I don't need human knowledge or human to tell me that this is the right bull or this is the right calf, this is what you should look at when you buy a bull. Nothing, I don't need it. It will all come by itself. So I blindly paid the money for Karupan the bull. Then at that moment, I think this I have mentioned in some other video, there was a calf there, an 8-month-old calf, born from a different bloodline. She was tied next to Karupan. Okay. In the ancient times, they would, I have mentioned this in some other video, I believe. In the ancient times, when they used to dig up wells and all, these wells are still around with water, or artificially made ponds and all that around temples, they would take the cow and take her for a walk around that surroundings, and where she would stand and pass her urine, that place was specifically then tested with the coconut and all, and then they would dig the well there. And that well would last many 100 years. That kind of a spiritual Shakti was there in these techniques. It's all gone now. So I was just standing there, and this calf walks up to me, turns around, looks at me, and passes her urine right onto my feet. And he said that, you should not think that I'm trying to cheat you. However, this specific nimitta is very auspicious, which you will not know. You have to take this calf also. That calf is none other than Kamakshi, my cow. I was like, no, I don't want a calf. I just came here for Shiva. I only want my bull. I want my black bull. I've spent all my years with all these dogs. I'm coming to the last few years of my 12-year period. I just want the bull. Shiva. I want Shiva, not the calf. I don't want calf. He was like, okay. He didn't know. He was not a great businessman, but he's like thinking, see, please understand, this specific nimitta is considered so auspicious that even temple priests will bow before this. You have come to purchase a bull, and she has walked up to you, turned around, and done this in front of you. She has given you the green signal. Please understand that she is asking you to take her. So confused and all that. Finally, we spoke, decided. I spent the whole day there. Morning, I had reached by around 7. I started from my place around 3 a.m. Whole day I spent there. They took me around the small town. I went to a lot of houses where they kept all these Kange bulls. What I noticed is that all these houses were so peaceful. They were simple. They had a nice lawn. This is like a small lawn. They would all have 1 or 2 Kange cows. That entire town will have 1 or 2 bull only. The rest all the female cows would be kept in each of the houses. Extreme calmness, silence in that town. I was just walking around like I had gone back to some 10,000 years. Everything was so calm, and it is not like a typical village. It is like they're all modern. They are all like they're city folks. Their houses are like city houses. However, they all have 1 cow and extreme calmness. So before, like, quite bewildered and all that, I out of nowhere, I said, okay, I'll take the calf also. And then, so when my house was incomplete at that time, immediately I got back home, and we set up a cow shed at the Lakshmi Moola of the house, and we transported Karupan and Kamakshi on a Pradosham day. It was never planned, when I put my Kartikeya video, it was Kartika Nakshatra day, and all this is not planned. Everything is free flow. I never look at the calendar before I post the video, nor do I look at the calendar for all these things. But it was on a Pradosham day that Karupan and Kamakshi came home. They came during the Brahma Muhurta. They had left in the night, and the first occupant of this house, this Pidha, in physical body was Karupan. The first one to place his leg inside and take abode in this place is Karupan, followed by Kamakshi, and we kept them in the cow shed. So this is my history of being with Karupan and Kamakshi, and everything to do with them is spiritual. Me taking Guru Dhakshina for any Upadesha that I may have given for my own benefit, it is not time for me to do that, because I have been given hands, legs, mouth, education, everything, all the necessary weaponry to make money for taking care of myself and my family right now. So I will not take anything for my own benefit. However, if I have given you mantra sitting here, the direct link of where I have to burn that karma, because every mantra, that is, for example, if I gave mantra to somebody who said that every month X amount of money is short in their life. Every month they are questing for X amount of money. they have decent income and all that, but the debts are so much that exactly ABCD amount is they're not able to make means for. And you won't believe, every time I'm trying to buy my food for my cow, this X amount expense will come to me too. I have to spend that. Because of that, this cow feed, every time I would buy, I would be thinking like, why am I suddenly getting an expense which takes this X amount out of me, and then I have to break some small investments that I've made, break a small FD to buy the small values of feed. Why? So that is when I realized that I'm not closing the karmic channel. I am myself burning the karma. When I give the mantra, if somebody says that they have a sick child at home, my son falls sick, I know that okay, they have said this, my son has fallen sick, she will take care, she will burn that karma, he will immediately recover, and he will recover in a few days, but they will also tell me that their son also recovered. So I am directly burning karma here after giving the mantra. Whereas I believe that it should link to my cow and my bull, and they should consume your karma, which is what the whole story about having cows is, which is why cows and bulls are called the most powerful living beings on planet Earth. Cow is the Devaloka itself. You feed her, even if you cannot afford anything, give her a banana. And do not give it to the business establishments, give it to the ashrama, give it to that monk somewhere who has a cow. Go to his ashrama and feed his cow. That is what you do. Take care of cows physically. Don't pay to do seva. If you get a chance, go there and clean the gaushala. Remove some cow dung. Let me tell you, don't do it at a business center. It should be somebody who is into sadhana, who is into giving upadesha, somebody at the guru sthana. There you go and take care of that cow. Feed them, give them food, buy bags of food for them. Directly burning of karma. Feeding and taking care of the cow is taking care of the entire Devaloka. Feeding and taking care of the bull, who is living in the in a Divya Kshetra of Mahadeva. He is none other than the embodiment of Nandishwara itself. You are paying Nandishwara, you are giving money to take care of Nandishwara itself. However, I am not at a state of comfort where I would take money to take care of myself, because she still get me fine. I can fend for myself. The day I can no longer, then yes, I will ask people to feed me. The day I've left everything and gone and sat in some ashrama, yes, I would say give me food for me to eat. As of now, that day has not yet come. So till I am okay to fend for myself, any dakshina will only go to my cow and bull, who are the only living beings in this house who are not selfishly owned by me. It is selflessly owned by me towards spirituality. When I give the upadesha, it is all coming from there. The karma needs to be burnt there. Otherwise, if I try to continuously burn my karma, there is also a previous birth in which I had severe health issues simply by trying to burn others' karma. This happens. If the guru is sincere and straightforward in his path, he will burn karma directly, and he will get hit badly physically in his own manifestation. He will be destroyed, and life also will be short. Not that I am looking for a very long life, but this time I know the secret. Feed the cow and pay your debts to the cow. That is why Sri Krishna had all these cows. That is the answer. Number one. Number two, this is a very weird subject that I am going to address now. So there was a small incident wherein a little bit of spiritual shopping kind of a thing had happened. Somebody had taken an upadesha from me. I sat here and I gave them, I meditated on Ma Adya, and with her permission, I gave the family a small upadesha, because so their Kuladeva is an Ugra Rupa of Mahavishnu, and they were interested to do the sadhana of Bhairava. However, I began to notice that the family gave me all these instances where, number one, the businesses were collapsing. They were facing near-death incidents. They were to the extent that they were seeing spirits. Number two, and they were also feeling like somebody is literally trying to kill them. They had come to a point where they had to separate from the child and all that. So I generally, such extreme cases, I try to stay away from, because how do I burn the karma? It's a real question. How do I take their karma? Because if they are feeling possessed, they are feeling a demonic hit on their life itself, how do you burn that karma? while staying many thousand kilometers away. I sat on her, meditated, and realized that there is a Kuladeva that is displaced and he is not okay. He is not fine with this Bhairava Sadhana because the Kuladeva is not given the go ahead. And who is the Kuladeva? Narasimha. What is Narasimha? He has only one purpose. Narasimha has only one purpose. Break any and every conditions and protect my devotee. That is his condition. So if you're born in this Kula, by default you're protected by Narasimha. This you should always remember. So as soon as I realized that, I understood, meditated, got even more proof and proof after proof. She started giving me so much of messages that I said, okay, done. And I gave the Upadesha that they should go into Bhairava Sadhana only on Ashtamis. This is a separate thing. It says this is done, and the family also gave me messages that their life is now better and doing well and all that, so I was happy. That Ma had given me the opportunity to give these Upadeshas to them. Then one fine day, I started getting multiple messages from different sources about one specific Telegram channel. I didn't understand because I never go into any Telegram channel. I do not watch other YouTube channels. I am majorly, my spirituality is limited to this Garbhagriha, my cows, my dogs. That's it. As much as possible, I avoid physically meeting people. As much as possible, I avoid chatting, conversing with people because it leads to aura destability. You have to protect your aura. The more your aura and your asana, these two are the most important things in sadhana. You should not allow your aura to be protected and broken down by people who are not understanding their own karma. Then you will start taking in their karma, which leads you and weakens your own sadhana. Number two is your asana. The stronger and more stable the asana is, like a rock, your deity will embody you. That is why the deities are in Vigraha. So, one fine day I started getting all these messages that I should watch one specific Telegram channel. I went into it, it was very nice. I have also recommended a channel here. He's doing well. The channel, it is being run by a fellow devotee of Vattuka Bhairava, and he's doing really well. The channel also was kept really well. In fact, I had a premonition that Bhairava Sadhana, how do people in other countries do it? I was just thinking and meditating on this because many messages I was getting, and that channel also addressed it. So I was like, there is a collective consciousness definitely in that sadhaka, and he is definitely on the right path. I enjoyed it. I was reading all that, but I still did not understand why was my attention being pulled to the channel, what was the reason. And then just like that, one message struck me. So before this I had never seen the channel, nor am I watching the channel now, but that specific message struck me. So the family who I had guided on the Narasimha Sadhana had themselves put a very open-ended message there saying if somebody is from Narasimha Kula, can they do Bhairava Sadhana? Someone had said I should not do like that. So this problem here is that, can you take Upadesha of another Guru if you have manasikally accepted somebody as your Guru? Yes, you can take Upadesha, but your Guru, the Guru Sthana has to always, like your asana, has to be stable. This is my Guru, but I will always quest after knowledge everywhere. Sri Ramakrishna had many Gurus. So that is very much allowed. I am 100% for it. Even I have many Gurus. But if I say one Guru, I cannot say many Gurus, many mentors and one Guru. That is my Guru. If a deity is your Guru, then you should be very careful while taking Upadeshas from people. Then aren't you saying that your deity's Upadesha is not right? Then you said, is the deity truly your Guru? If the deity is your Guru, you should not quest after other humans to tell you the Upadesha. So this is why when many people say deity is my Guru and then they ask other humans for Upadesha, it is disrespectful to the deity itself. Then you probably need a human Guru. Say your pranams to the deity and find your human Guru. Nothing wrong in it. At the same time, you have taken somebody as a Guru, then do not go and put these anonymous messages and try to trap or pull the other Gurus into unnecessary situations. See, if they had mentioned that I had spoken to Praveen Radhakrishnan, the person called Praveen Radhakrishnan, I had mentioned these incidents, based on that he gave me this Upadesha, the other Guru would definitely have said that if to this extent he had gone into your specific case and given you this Upadesha, then you probably should take it. However, if you blindly mention that I had asked someone and they gave this Upadesha, then it is not fair to both the mentors that who had tried to guide you. So be very clear. If you have a Guru, you can still take knowledge, it is free flowing knowledge from all over the world. Whatever Prakriti throws at you, take knowledge from all sources. However, the Guru remains the Guru. But if the Guru has specifically given you an Upadesha, do this, do it. Ultimately, otherwise, are you not saying that you always wanted to go into the path of Bhairava? I simply asked you for your opinion. Your opinion was not what I wanted. So I am now finding someone who would simply say yes. Is that not wrong? Towards both the mentors, both of them who had spent their time to guide you. So this is why when you take Upadesha, be 100% like the rock. You should be like the rock. That is why deities sit inside rocks. That is why they are, because it has to be stable for next 10,000 years. It should be unmoving for next 10,000 years. Just like that, the Guru is also the same entity. You should not expect the Guru to bend himself to suit your agenda. He will tell you what the deity tells him to tell you. Once the deity tells you that this is what it is, then don't go around exploring whether it is correct or wrong. Before that, do your homework and understand whether the Guru is worth trusting or not. This is what is important. Before choosing a Guru, listen to what all his pravachans. Does it make sense? Is he making sense? Is he able to get the esoteric meanings from words which others are not able to glean? Think. Then you realize that, okay, he definitely has kripa of the deity. Let me take a bit of it. And then you request the Guru for Upadesha. You're basically requesting the deity to talk to you through the Guru. This is what the Guru is. The Guru takes the sthana of the deity at that point. And this has completely broken down in Kali Yuga. Where there used to be 1,000 gurus for 10,000 shishyas. Now it is like 1,000 gurus for few lakhs, 10 lakhs of shishyas. That is why these sort of online portals have burst out. Even then, there are, like Sri Krishna said, every guru is not genuine. But if you feel that and you've taken somebody as a guru and you've taken a specific Upadesha, don't keep on judging it. Am I doing it right? In the last video I spoke about this. Am I doing this right? You have to truly embody that Upadesha to take any benefit from it. And the worst thing you can do is go and ask another Guru that somebody said. At least tell him the history. That is being fair to that other Guru. You have walked into that Guru. You told him that these are your problems. Exactly tell me, this is the person I went to. This is the Upadesha he gave. Give that other Guru the chance to properly give you guidance. Do not say someone. Someone means someone you met in the train. Someone you must have just met while walking in the park. You have to be fair. So this is why I say, if you choose a Guru, like a stone, be sincere to that Guru. Like a stone. You will only then be able to embody the deity. Ultimate goal of Bhairava Sadhana or any Shakti Upasana is to embody and be that deity. Live, breathe, walk, think as the deity. It is not to simply get a little bit of grace. Sadhana is not required to get a little bit of grace. Go to temples, recite that little bit of Ashtakam on special days. You will still get that grace. Sadhana is to become one with the deity. When you're constantly moving, how will the deity sit inside you? By that definition, I can take an egg and I can do the sadhana of the egg. I can take an apple, I can do the sadhana of the deity in that apple, but the apple will rot. How will the deity be invoked into that and last for 10,000 years inside an apple? That is why stone. Then how do you embody the deity within you? You also have to become the stone, not the apple. You will also rot off. Your body will rot off. The deity lives in the jiva, which is immortal. The jiva is immortal. So the body also, till the jiva is there, within has to be like a stone. That is why it is important that you do not do guru hopping. And if at all you have decided that the first guru who gave you the Upadesha is not honest, or he's not on the right path, or probably is not good enough, any of these doubts, go tell the other guru that I went to this path. These are all what I've learned. Give that guru the right information and let him then judge you and give you the Upadesha. Don't make generic statement like somebody said. It's not somebody, right? That person might be embodying the deity itself. So after that, the family approached me again. After I was surprised, like, to see this message, I have been dragged by her, holding me. She has held my ears and she has dragged me all the way till that group and showed me this message. Again, I'm telling you, I absolutely love way that group is running. I absolutely enjoyed reading all the messages and the beautiful interaction between that guru and disciples, all the effort that he's taking. He has also put a new initiative called Bhairava Beyond the Borders. Absolutely excellent initiative. Now I don't get anything by praising him, but it is important, because even while reading all these emails, I realized that beyond the borders, in other countries, I was also meditating on this. How do people worship Bhairava where there are no dogs? It's purely capitalist. You cannot feed a stray dog. And how do you worship Bhairava? Why are there so many dogs in India and Nepal? And the karma bhumi of Bhairava is India and this Nepal belt. This is very important. All these beautiful subjects are being addressed, and even before I have raised that channel is following very ritualistic methods of Bhairava worship, which is very important for the first 3 years. You have to go by, you cannot say I'll directly go and sit for PhD and I'll not learn my alphabets, I'll not learn my numbers, I'll not learn how to make a sentence, I'll not learn grammar. You'll not say that I will not learn what is in the first 4 heads at all. Even if you had completed all the 4 heads and you've taken a new birth, little bit of that 4 heads is required for you to remember your previous births before you come to the 5th head of Bhairava, which is the 5th Veda. So be sincere. That channel has all my supports and no ill feeling at all. At the same time, the family kept on apologizing to me, saying, we are sorry to disrespect you. There is no disrespect. I assure you, I have already been placed on the smashana. The path to Kali is first you have to lie on the smashana. You will burn your body and then she will give you life again. Then when you get up, there is no insult. There is no anger. That has to do with ego. There is no ego at all. But I am a stone when it comes to Ma Kali. And I say that this is the path she has told me that I should walk. I will not move from that path. When I say that I am giving you an Upadesha by the rights bestowed upon me by Ma Kali, I will not be able to take any insult to that Upadesha. I will simply bow my head and say, please remove me from the path, which is what I told that family also. Please remove me from the path. Do not put me into this path. You are free to follow every branch of Vidya. You yourself are a Jiva. You yourself are a divine being. Go and search. You find affinity somewhere else. Please go there and find your peace. Find your divinity. Embody the deity in that path. However, you take an Upadesha from me. Please, I don't sell Upadesha. I am not selling Upadesha online. There is no charge for the Upadesha I give. You have to feed my cow. Feed one banana to my cow. Because in this mortal body, which embodies the karma across my own births, I will not be able to burn all your karma. If I give you a mantra which is going to burn your karma, the first 48-day mandala, I have to burn a little bit of your karma along with you. And not every human body is able to do it. Even Sri Krishna had to die at 125 years. Remember. So, I am not a seller of mantras, nor am I selling Upadeshas. Little bit of money does come from YouTube, which also I use for my dogs and my cows and all that. But if you have directly taken benefit out of my Upadeshas, feed my cows. Give them banana. You complete the cycle. Complete it. You've taken one part, complete it. Feed a banana. Nothing big. What is the cost of a banana? What is the least? If you feel that deities have kept you at such a high level, feed them some multigrain bag. Cow feed is very cheap because nobody buys cow feed. They all put their cows into grazing in the garbage bags. The cows are all eating plastic bags and stomach is full of plastic bags. They're hungry and the blood is being used as milk today to sell to these dairies. Who's sincere in dairy market? Very few. But there are some sincere manufacturers who make these cow feed and all. But they cannot go at a high level, because market is very small. People who have cows, they are not feeding these cows. They only give hay. Full time they give hay. What will the cow have then? Cow need 80% green silage, all these grains. That's why my cows are fat and round. I also feed my Karupan. I feed very expensive. So this is also a small story. There is a excellent manufacturer from the 18th century. They have heritage in this industry. They are excellent and quite renowned for making horse feeds. So I used to buy horse feed and give Karupan because the quality is very high and the cost of that bag will be 2,800 rupees for 50 kg. He would ask me, what horse do you have, sir? Because Marwari horses, they are like 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs they cost. Whereas the cow, the poor cow, the poor Nandishwara, the Vahana, just 20,000 you will get a nice bull. Calf. Okay. So He told me, what horse you have, sir? You're buying so much horse feed. I said, I don't have a horse. And then he was shocked. You don't have a horse, then why are you buying horse feed? I said, I have Nandishwara at home. I have Karuppan at home. He is my bull. I give your horse feed to my bull. He was really shocked, and post that he was so shocked that he stopped charging delivery fee to me. And he started sending horse feed to me without charging delivery fee. But now I don't feed the horse feed anymore, because Karuppan can eat only like maybe 2 kgs in a day, and horse feed, since they are so expensive horses and all, in that they don't mix these preservatives and all, because horse cannot digest, their stomach is very weak. It's not like a stone like our Nandishwara, and horses fall sick very fast. They get colic, so that feed spoils very fast, and because of that I'm not able to feed it. So I buy the best quality multi-grain mix, that is that 1300 rupees ka bag, and that I feed. So Kamakshi gets around 2 to 3 kgs. Now that she's pregnant, she gets 3 kgs, and Karuppan gets around 4 to 5 kgs per day. Yeah, so this is why, so that is how I believe in Guru Dhakshina should go towards the feeding of, taking care of the cows, because right now at physical body, she has kept me and given me enough skills to take care of my own family and all, so I will not take any Dhakshina to that effect. However, the cow and the bull, they are purely spiritual, they are an extension of the Vigraham, the extension of the Lingam, the extension of the Vahanas that are within this Garbhagriha. So if you take benefit out of that, feed a banana, feed some food to my cow and bull as regularly as it permits. You will find that the cycle closes. Mantra, everything done, Dakshina, it closes the cycle. You have a full circle. You come a full circle benefit of these mantras that you, or any Upadesha that you take from this channel. Number 2, analyze your Guru. Don't be in a rush. Every Guru that is found online is not the same. There are some who are really sincere. If you, by some mistake, you took a Upadesha from a Guru and you're trying to counter that, when you go to the other Guru, at least tell him that these are the Upadesha I got from this person, so and so person is there, so that Guru is also safeguarded from the karma of advising you to break the Upadesha taken from somebody else. Because if the Guru who's giving the Upadesha is very sincere and the deity has willed it that way, it will outburst. It will have a direct karmic implication on the Guru who gave the Upadesha, counter Upadesha, as well as the family. Don't get into all this. Be pious, be calm. I as a person, I assure you, I have no ego. It is gone. Before she allowed me to sit at her foot, I don't sit in a studio and talk. I sit at her foot. So when I talk also, you should notice my eye. I look at her and talk. It is me talking to her and she talking to me. You all are witness to it. So I have no ego. You are never going to irritate me. But her name, if I tell you something in her name, I wish to be excused from any kind of controversy, any kind of disturbance, because I absolutely and completely do not think there is anything above her. I truly believe that she who has, he stands behind me, she's cannot even tell you in words. When I look at her, I feel like Sri Rama looking at Ma Sita. I feel like I'm Sri Krishna looking at Ma Radha. I'm looking at Panchali. I'm looking at everything. Looking at Bhadra, I'm looking at Durga, everything. I can visualize Daksha's head being cut off and placed at her feet, and she creating the universe. There is nothing above her. So please, any Upadesha you take from me, you will find thousands of Gurus, take it from them. If you take it from me, and if you're going to break it, then don't take it. Plain and simple. Trust the deity. If she has willed me to give you an Upadesha, be sincere to it. And if at all you're going somewhere else, at least give that Guru the opportunity to know from where you're coming, so that he may give you a counter and listen. He will ask you what all you told him. Why did he give you the Upadesha? Okay, and then he will tell you, no, follow it. Or don't follow it, I'll give you this counter. At the same time, a Shama on what to do, that now that you're going to break that Upadesha, what all you have to do. That the Guru will tell you. The Guru also should be given the opportunity to know that. After all, he is also a child of Ma Kali. He is also a child. You should not trap him like that, right? It's not intentional. You are also a child. You have also not intentionally gone and trapped him. Out of your curiosity, you made this mistake. But for me, no, there is only one. Khadga. She has the Khadga hai. It is not like Shri Krishna with the flute. She has a khadga. So like she literally caught me by the ear and dragged me till the Telegram channel, made me see the messages, and I was only having kindness and love for Ma, and I said that, okay Ma, hereafter I'll be careful when I give Upadesha, and I assure you there is no ego. There is no disrespect to me. You cannot disrespect me because I do not even exist. The body that you see does not exist. I have karma for which I am still around. I am going to burn it all. And one day the body, and I realize and I am assured that I have burned all my physical karma, I will leave. I will live the life of a nomad, back to what I always was. I will go sit in the mountains. I will sit in some ashrama, or maybe, I don't know, whatever she wills. So many times I have a dream that I want to dream in the sense not while sleeping, waking up. I get so full of prana that I want to just lift this vigraham and run away. 4 to 5 men were required to place her there because she's pure granite, right? I want to just sometimes get so much of avesha that I just want to lift her, keep her here and go for a walk. I just want to live and breathe and die in her name. Fame and all, if it has to come, let it come. Anyway, one astrologer told me that I will only have fame after I'm gone, after the physical body is gone. My name is gone, death, post-death only the fame, and it will be very high. So when I'm alive, just listen to all this. Please take it very seriously. Gurus, don't rush. Take an Upadesha, finish off the Upadesha. That Guru itself will tell you when it is time for you to, now that the Kuladeva is pleased, you may now walk into that path. Slow down a little. When you burst out and do something without thinking, you end up doing a lot of mistakes. Prana. Don't talk too much. Don't go and exhibit your prana that is from the breath that comes within you, is your prana. It should be within. It should only keep your body living. Don't continuously voice it out and waste your prana. Silence. Maintain silence. Let the deities talk to you, So before you choose gurus, see, there is no difference between you simply walking into a temple and talking to the priest and taking a mantra, and you simply buying a book from the net and taking a mantra. Both are same. The Shakti within the Guru, Om Bhairavaya Namaha. If you take from ABCD and XYZ, they are both not the same. They are completely embodied by two separate gurus. If one of them is purely ritualistic, you will have to go by the ritualistic path while reciting that Om Bhairavaya Namaha and do whatever that guru does in his daily life. The other one is purely, absolutely broken from ritualism. He goes and lives in the mountains, he takes care of people, he doesn't want any kind of fame, he's sitting completely separate, he doesn't do any ritual, he doesn't even hold a mala in his hand. If you took from him, you have to behave and live like that Guru. That is why I give pictures. If I give an Upadesha, I give pictures because I want you to connect with my consciousness that she has given me. Only then you will have that effect. So if you connect to me and you say, what is the procedure, ritualistic, I am beyond all that. It's all broken now for me because I have never switched off. So when they say that every time you enter into your sadhana and sit on the asana, you have to restart that day. Why do I restart when I never switched off the engine? The engine is still running. So I never restart, it is just a flow. Sun has risen, because of that I am coming back, but I never switched off. So there's a lot of journey, there's a lot of things that I have to talk about, a lot of things that I want to cover. There are very genuine sadhakas who are running Telegram channels, who are running YouTube channels. Listen to them, it is all fine. But if you take an Upadesha from somewhere else, give them the opportunity to know and understand who you are and why you took an Upadesha. What were the reason why the previous Guru has given you these instructions. Share it all with them. That will be a genuine service that you do to the deity, to the Guru within whom the deity resides, and also to the other Guru who is now trying to help you. And then you flow. Never feel guilty and all, you have made a mistake, that is fine. But when it comes to Ma Kali, there is no second, no, never. She is never an option two. One time it is done, it is done. That's it. That is how I am with her. Father, mother, nobody exists. That is at the state of Kali. She will first place you into the smashana, burn you off, and then she'll give the life and the body back and say, now you come to me. That is Ma Kali. That is why she has the khadga. That is the khadga. Die, come back, live life fully. The other paths cannot even digest how terribly scary it can be to say that if my job goes also, I will not make a physical attempt to save it. I will let it burn because I am lying on the funeral pyre. Everything, you only call her name. Finally, she'll give you everything. And say, now, without any fear, enjoy life also while calling my name. That is Ma Kali. She's the kindest. Look at her. I cannot even, sometimes I don't even want to look at her in the video because nobody like her. There is nobody like her. She is the creator of everything. Before I go rambling for another hour, I'll cut this video. Bhairava Kalike Namastute. Jai Madhya. Jai Madhya. Jai Madhya.